and welcome to another Simple Stamping Saturday. I am Liz and I'm from Old Stables Crafts, and this is where I make you 3 projects using one basic idea. I show you how to make the most simple version and then step it up twice with examples to show you what else you could do if you want to add a few more techniques, a few more products, that sort of thing. And today, because it is still Celebration, I am using celebration items. I'm actually using 2, and they are both the lower level, what I call level 1, so £45, and you can choose either one of the items. Obviously, if you spend £90, you could either choose one higher valued item or the 2 that I'm using today. So let me flip the camera down and show you the paper. So this is the paper I'm going to be using. It's the Flight and Airy paper, and it's basically birds. So we've got birds on a blossom with a fresh freesia background with it's sort of watercolour. Then individual birds with a lovely floral on the background. Again, more birds in blossom trees with a lovely blue background floral, and this is what we're going to be using on our envelope. Then this, which is a sort of a more open bird and tree or branch pattern with pecan pie trellis on the reverse. Then this lovely floral and birds with boho blue and misty moonlight on the back. And then finally we've got this one with a tone on tone. I think it's Lost Lagoon, but I will let you know what the colours are. They are, it is Lost Lagoon, boho blue, bubble bath, calypso coral, crumb cake, daffodil delight, flirty flamingo, fresh freesia, garden green, Lost Lagoon, misty moonlight, pecan pie and soft sea foam. So that's the paper I'm using. And then for the sentiment, I'm going to be using the Heartfelt Hellos, and I'm actually using Hello. So let me show you the project, which is this. So I've covered my card with one of the background papers. I've got a little strip down the side. I've stamped onto the card itself, onto the paper. And then this is just a fussy cut image. So what I'm going to do is show you how to do the fussy cutting first. So this is my image. I'm using just a basic white note card and envelope, so really inexpensive way to start with crafting. So let me go round. Am I in camera? Yes, I am. Always need to check just in case. So I'm just cutting, leaving a narrow border. Don't worry too much if it's not exactly even all the way round, it doesn't matter, but it is quite nice to have that narrow border. So it looks almost like it's been die cut. Now, if the bird you choose happens to have legs, just treat them as one item, which is what I've done with this one. The feet are just cut as one. If you've got individual feet, so if one of the birds is standing on one leg, then just cut that leg as if it's one item. Don't worry about going into the individual toes of the bird. Unless you want to, of course, but I wouldn't. So that is that. Let me get rid of my waste. Next, I'm going to fold my basic white note card in half along the crease line and then just burnish it. And if you end up, as I have, with one side that's very fractionally larger than the other, the larger side is the front. So let me grab the paper that I need, and it's this one. So all I'm going to do is grab my seal. You can use liquid adhesive if you would rather, but for speed, apart from the cat hair, I'm going to use seal. Not that liquid adhesive is slower, but obviously it takes a little longer to dry. So there we go. Let's just do a piece down the middle as well. So I'm going to take the folded edge and just pop that so that it's along the cut edge of my paper, and that the top of my card is on the cut edge as well. Then open up my card. I just find it easier to open the card up. And with the right hand blade, this one, I'm pushing against the card base very gently, but it means that I'm more likely to cut a straight line because that card base will keep me on the straight and narrow. Oh, I don't think I've shown you the card that we're making. I mean, it is there. So we've got a strip down the side, fussy cut bird, and then I've stamped straight onto the designer series paper with the sentiment, and that comes from the Heartfelt Hello Celebration item. So there's my card base. Now I did very carefully, I thought, pop a piece of that to one side, but knowing me, I've buried it. So let me find the piece that I need. It's going to be this pattern, because the back is the pecan pie. So let me I'm just going to trim this at 1 centimetre. So it is very narrow, and this is what I'm using for the most stepped up version, just so you know. Oh, I've just seen the piece of paper that I put to one side. So yes, we've just got this one piece down the side, the hello and the bird. Let me show you the stamp set so you can see the sentiments that are in it. We've got Dad, you're the best, love you more, enjoy your day, hello, which is what we're using, happy Mother's Day, and thinking of you this Easter. So really helpful, really useful little set. So I am going to be brave, and I'm going to run a bead of glue down the edge, slightly in from the edge of this card base. So I'm going to get the glue running, and you don't have to be perfectly straight, but reasonably straight if your glue would like to work, of course. There we go. Reasonably straight is best, but as our bead is maybe a couple of millimeters wide and our piece of paper is 1 centimetre wide, we have got a margin of error. So let's just pop that down, and I'm just going to line up my card on my grid so that I end up with my piece of paper reasonably straight, and because I've used liquid adhesive, I've got that wiggle room. So there we go. It's a little bit crooked, but I think I can move that. Yep, there we go. Perfect. And then again, buried my scissors already. Just take your snips and cut that excess off like that. Then my bird is going to go here, so my hello is going to be here, and it will just fit. But I'm going to put the hello down before I put the bird on, because that gives me a little bit more room. So if I need to, I can move my bird across a bit. So pecan pie ink, so it goes with the trellis. There we go. Close that up, and I will use liquid adhesive again. If it would like to play ball. Why is it the moment you put the camera on, things decide they're going to be tricksy? Life, I suppose. There we go. And then pop that down in the corner, and it's as if it's saying hello. And then for the envelope, which is this envelope, to get the pattern paper on, all I'm going to do is grab my pattern, making sure you've got it the wrong way up, as it were. I'm going to add seal, let me take that out of the way for the moment. So I'm going to add seal along this folded edge. Then I'm going to open it up because I find it easier to see where I'm going if I've got a little bit of contrast between the edge of the envelope flap and the surface. So if I had this closed onto the envelope, it would just be white on white. There we go. Again, you could use liquid adhesive if you wanted. I just prefer to use seal for that because this is only paper, so it might get a little wobbly otherwise. And then just run that folded edge along the cut edge of the paper like that. Open up, and again we're going to trim, and we're going to trim exactly the same way that we did before. So let me just do it roughly now, and then I don't have to have a whole 12 by 12 piece of paper to manipulate under a camera. So all I'm going to do is, again, the right hand blade against the envelope. Now obviously this is going to have a little less resistance than the card base, but it still will give you that line to follow. And just cut all the way around like that. That goes in the bin, and we have our 2 cards with beautiful envelope flaps to send someone a little hello. This I think would be perfect if you've got a friend who you haven't seen for a while, and you just want to drop them a line and just say, hello, how are you? Why don't we meet for coffee? So those are the simple versions. Let me grab, again, buried, there we go, the next 2 versions. Now the first of the next 2 versions isn't hugely complicated. So again, I fussy cut the bird. I've punched with the 2-inch circle punch, which is an online exclusive, the circle. I've taken some of the pecan pie, what do we call it? Pecan pie bordered ribbon, this lovely ribbon, and just zigzagged it across the back of the circle, and again stamped the hello. So that's that. And then on the inside I've got some more of this pattern paper just down at the bottom. So that's my first stepped up version, and my last stepped up version is for those of you who like fussy cutting. So I've taken, let me find the paper, I've taken this paper and cut round the pattern. And again, I've got the hello, but this time I fussy cut the hello so that it is just tucking in there. And again, on the inside, I've got the little strip of paper. And as you've got with this, you could, on your envelope for these, add a bit more of this paper, which would then tie in with the inside of the envelope. Inside of the card, rather. So I hope you have found that enjoyable. I hope you'll give it a go. Do remember, Celebration runs until the 29th of February, which is less than 2 weeks. So if you want any Celebration items, and remember we've got the original Celebration items that are in the little brochure, but we've also now got extra items that are in some of our catalogues. There's the children's paper from the new mini, there are some stamp sets, there's the really fat, I want to say eclectic paper, really fat pack of paper which is in the annual catalogue. I mean, all sorts of things, so do go and have a look at those, because there are some really good almost bargains to be had on the more to celebrate list. So have a fantastic rest of your Saturday. I hope you're doing something fun and that the weather treats you kindly, and I will see you again very soon. Bye for now. This is always the embarrassing bit where I try and find my end screen. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.